What's up, guys? My name is Khan and we're back today with more Scrap Mechanic, and today we are once again using my absolute favorite mod in all of Scrap Mechanic to make something awesome, and that is of course the ropes mod to make this awesome catapult. So we've used the ropes mod before, and every time we do, it seems like the ropes mod is more of a rubber band and the results are very much so unpredictable, but I figure we have to try and make an actual sort of slingshot or catapult type device with the ropes mod, and that's exactly what we've done here. And then not only that, we've got to use fire to make a fireball launching catapult. So we can just disconnect the caution block there. We'll actually activate this blue switch to extend this front beam out, just to make sure when the catapult arm flips up, it doesn't flip the whole catapult over, because believe me, that'll happen. Then of course we press the white button, activate those two ropes, connect them up there, and the light yellow reels it in. We get this awesome super glitchiness. And then we can press the orange button, give us some fire, and then press red, and look at that fireball launching catapult. Isn't that awesome? And then maybe it'll, look at that, explodes on contact and everything. Just such an awesome fireball. And then we can of course hold the yellow button, bring that back down, press the red, and good to go. So it's a really cool catapult. It works really well, and surprisingly relatively easy to use. So it does fire fireballs. We can of course, we can launch whatever we want, except you can't launch explosive barrels directly. So you'll notice the fireball did explode on contact, and actually if we take it out on the lift here, we can just take a look at it. It's really simple. It's just a wooden sort of ball surrounding an explosive. So it's just an explosive with 4 pieces of wood on it, and if you put an explosive directly on the catapult, because of the ropes mod and sort of the bounciness, well, actually we can do it now, but you'll see most of the time the explosive will actually just kind of blow up directly on the catapult. So we'll put one there. We'll just we'll lower that, and it'll probably blow up as soon as we start. Yeah, see there, as soon as you start getting that kind of pulsing action, it just moves the explosive in the wrong way, and the entire catapult explodes. But with this sort of wood shell, we can actually kind of make an explosive that will launch. It can get lit on fire because the flamethrower lights the wood on fire. And actually, when the wood burns through to the explosive, it'll blow up. Or if the explosive hits the ground hard enough, it'll blow up on contact. So sometimes you get those on contact explosions. Sometimes you get a fireball that lands. And of course, when it lands, it just burns for a bit and then explodes. But of course, we'll spawn another catapult here. And I figure we've got the good old Stam site castle there in the distance. And I feel like we need to try and siege that castle a little bit with our catapult. Maybe we should move it a little bit closer. We might be far away. And of course, we can adjust how much pull we have based on how much tension we put on those ropes. But it is really a guessing game. You don't exactly, you know, have any sort of metric to see how much you put on it. I probably should have put some kind of like a meter or something to let you know how much you've held the yellow buttons for. But regardless, you know, we can just move our catapult over there. So we've got the blue switches over here, which are really all your movement controls. It does use a very simple front wheel tank drive system. The back wheel is just kind of, you know, free float. So we can just hold that button to move forward. We can hold this button to move backwards, and then hold this to rotate left and rotate right. So we'll just kind of move up towards the castle here. Now, of course, the fireballs do only use the small explosives, so it's kind of, you know, it'll take a little bit, but they will light stuff on fire. So I believe the castle has wooden floors on some of the things, and it should light those floors on fire if they get close. And a lot of you guys pointed out in the last flamethrower video that if you delete the flamethrower, all the fire effects associated with that flamethrower go away. But of course, with the flamethrower mounted on the catapult here, we shouldn't have any issues like that. So really cool stuff. The catapult itself kind of fires very similar to the flipper glitch in Scrap Mechanic. So for those of you guys who don't know, the flipper glitch is where you take a controller and you make it move an arm, but then you block that arm's movement, and it sort of builds up speed and builds up power. And then when you finally release the arm, it sort of flings it really fast. And that's kind of what we're doing here with this catapult. Of course, with the exception of the fact that we're actually using the ropes to build up tension, which is just kind of awesome, to be perfectly honest. So we deploy that front bar out. If we don't, the whole catapult just kind of flip right over itself. And we've got white. We can, of course, press gray to break the ropes if we want. But we press white to activate the ropes. Put a little bit of tension on it, just a little bit. We don't want to put too much. I want to see if we just give it the slightest little bit of tension, how far we're actually going to launch the ball here. I know you can make it launch very little distance if you do it very minimal, but we'll see what happens here. And then orange, and you want to press that red button pretty quickly. And see, that was very minor. And that'll just, see, that one didn't hit hard enough, so it'll burn for a bit and then it'll explode. Just a wonderful fire. Yeah, perfect. All right, so we'll just spawn another one here. We'll take a concrete block and just weld it into position. Perfect. And we'll give it a little bit more tension this time. There we go. That looks about right. Flames. And here we go. Oh, much better. Look at that direct hit. Oh no, it bounced and it kind of just landed at the front door. You know what? That might burn down the whole front door. Is that, oh no, it just blew up. It blew up. Look at that. It made a hole right in the front door. That's awesome. Let's just bring this down, close this, get another round out. All right, we are going to siege this castle. Like I said, though, very, very difficult to judge how far one shot goes compared to the other. So we just kind of have to guess. Give it a little bit more tension there. Flames. Perfect. Oh, that one was much further. Oh, is that going to clear the castle? I cleared the whole castle. That was a little bit too much. Again, very, very difficult to try and figure out exactly the range on it. I think I might make another version of this catapult. I do like using the ropes. I think it's really, really cool. Even though the ropes are a little bit unpredictable, I think it's still a cool feature to try and use the ropes mod in a way like this. But it would be nice to have some kind of a gauge that kind of tells you, you know, just how much tension you've applied. Like an output that says, you know, you've got this much length on the rope. Even though I don't think the ropes mod outputs anything like that, we could try something. Anyways, orange fire. Let's go. Oh, that's still gonna clear it. Oh no, direct hit. Didn't explode on contact though, but that's okay. It's gonna burn. It's probably gonna light the floor on fire there or something, and definitely gonna explode. The explosion might put out some of the fire. We'll see. Is it actually gonna explode? Some of them are duds, believe it or not. It has, oh no, it's lit the whole floor on fire. This castle's gonna completely burn. Oh, that's awesome. So you'll notice the only thing to stop the catapult is a completely free-floating double bearing here, and it just kind of free swings this arm up in this groove. And the only thing to stop it is just this piece right here, which keeps it kind of leaned back a little bit. It helps with the trajectory that it flies at as well, but it also keeps it leaned back a little bit, which in turn, when you release the rope's pressure, brings it back down into this sort of resting position. Now, of course, the problem with that is sometimes if you fling it with too much power, it'll just get jammed up in there. You have to put it on the lift. Nothing you can really do about that, but it's not a big deal. We could, of course, if we really wanted to, just extend this back further like this, and this would stop the arm earlier, which would in turn release the projectile at a much, you know, higher angle. But I like the way it releases here because it kind of flings it forward really aggressively, which lets you kind of target your stuff a little bit easier. All right, so let's just get this thing set up again. We need to get a fireball, so let's spawn one of those. Perfect. This is really meant to be like a two-man operation. So you can see we've got this kind of platform here. There's no seats on the catapult. Everything's done with manual buttons. It does move really, really slowly. But the idea is that you have someone over here who would drive the catapult and also reload your shells. And then you've got your shooter on this side. So again, we'll just white, activate those ropes. Yellow, put it under a little bit of tension. Hold red, and fire. Oh, that looks good. That's looking good. Oh, right in the front door. Are you serious? It just rolled in the front door. That's amazing. It's just going to blow up in the courtyard. Let's get more siege going on right here real quick. You want to make sure that you kind of fire it pretty... Oh, that was really, really weak. Oh, we lit the castle's on fire. It's actually on fire. That is awesome. That is so cool. The floor's on fire. That's great. But yeah, like I was saying, you do want to make sure that you actually fire them pretty quickly. The flamethrower's on a button for a reason. Originally, I had it on a switch, and I found it was just lighting so many of the wood blocks on fire. Most of the time, the projectile was actually exploding inside the catapult here before it went. And you'll notice the entire catapult is actually built out of concrete. And that's, again, for safety with the flamethrower here. So there's nothing on the catapult except maybe the wheels that could light up on fire. But nothing else should light on fire. So when you light this projectile, you really want to make sure you first put the catapult under tension, and then you light the projectile, and then launch it almost right away. Otherwise, you're just going to run into issues. Look at how consistent that is, though. Is that going to... Oh, that one's just going to land up front. Okay, that's fine. I know a while ago, too, I did make a mechanical trebuchet, and I made it actually all in vanilla without any mods at all. This obviously uses the mod pack beta for that flamethrower. It uses the ropes mod, and it actually uses the dev's crazy wheels mod just for these wheels. Now, I know it's a little bit excessive. I felt like the cartwheels really needed to be there to make it kind of seem a little bit more like a catapult. So it does use 3 mods, but it uses each mod just for a single part, which is kind of weird. Now, I did make a completely vanilla trebuchet, but the problem with the vanilla trebuchet is the chains that I used were those sort of small pipe chains with lots of bearings, and they weren't really super, I guess, good is the best way to say it. They didn't really work too well. Oh, look at that, right in the courtyard. Another slam dunk. But they weren't the greatest thing for actually, you know, launching projectiles. The mechanical trebuchet worked, but it didn't launch a projectile very far. And I thought about using the ropes mod for a trebuchet, but the problem with the ropes mod is, number one, you can't have the ropes resting on anything. They just clip through objects. They're kind of like a point-to-point thing. And number two, they really do act like rubber bands. So for something like a catapult, they're great because you can build up some tension. And then, you know, when you release all that tension, the ropes just snap to a position, and actually we've glitched the arm there again. Look at that. Direct hit. Perfect shot. This might take a while to actually... Oh, yeah, the ropes also remember their last position, so it's not really a big deal. But if you put it on the lift, for example, and you want to make sure the ropes don't snap up like they just did there, you can just press the gray button when it's on the lift, break the ropes completely. It'll spawn back in the default position, and then, of course, you can press the white button. So it is a really simple catapult to use. I will, of course, upload it to the workshop. I hope you guys try it out. It's definitely a lot of fun, and it was kind of inspired by some of the comments that I got after the flamethrower build, as well as some comments after some of the ropes mods videos, and oh my goodness, that went really far. Fireball, there we go. Look at that. Amazing. I love watching them fly, too. Oh, nice. There was a direct hit on the castle wall. I put a hole in the wall. Awesome. All right, we got to turn a little bit to the left there. We're clearly off. Oh, off-centered. You know what? That's okay. It doesn't really matter if it's off-centered because it kind of just rests in this cup, no problem. Put some tension on it. Flame. Fire. Oh, that was cool. It got this weird kind of spiral. Turned a little bit too much to the left. Looks like that one's going to be right out front, though. All right, let's see if we can get another nice direct hit here. A little bit of tension. More fire. Oh, that was perfect. That was still too much. Holy cow, we are just overshooting this castle. Definitely want to make a version 2.0 of this, I think. Maybe do something that doesn't use ropes for propulsion. Maybe some other sort of mechanism. Maybe we could use some pistons, and we control the power of the pistons using the mod pack or something to control the distance the catapult shoots. But, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I just really wanted to make a fireball launching creation, and I thought, you know, ropes mod catapult. I know I tried making a ropes mod slingshot before, and it was absolutely terrible. But making a ropes mod catapult, I think, is just absolutely awesome. And I really like the fact that it actually works. And it really, you know, it does shoot consistent despite the fact that I am just overpowering it like crazy. And we can't actually adjust for the power. But, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Should we make some other kind of siege weaponry? And if so, what other kind of things should we make? Or, you know, just creations in general. Do you think there's any other cool things we could do with the ropes mod? I know Scrapman and I have done mountain climbing and all sorts of craziness. And despite the mod being crazy and unpredictable, that's kind of what makes it, you know, half the fun. But, of course, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. That is a perfect shot. No, too short. Too short. Definitely need to have some sort of a gauge here that lets us know how much tension we've got on the system. All right, we're gonna fire this last projectile here. Oh, just way too far, way too far. The castle still stands, but you know what? I think we've blown open the front door. Let's go check on the damage real quick before we leave here and just see. That was probably, I would say, maybe 20 rounds, maybe 10 rounds. I wasn't actually keeping track. I don't know how many we fired, but definitely a lot of shots. Look at that. No front door. We could clearly move in here, and oh my goodness, this all burned out. There's like explosions here. Here too. We didn't wreck the crystal. Definitely got easy access to it though. I mean, look at that. Blew a hole in that tower. That's just awesome. Really does feel like the castle's been sieged for a little bit. And that was, you know, 20 rounds. We need to obviously siege it for a lot longer. And half the rounds cleared the castle completely. So we could be way at the back of the field and still have gotten those crazy shots off. But of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of this build. Do you think we should do other kinds of builds like this? Or if not, what other things do you think we could do with the ropes mod? Or any other sort of cool ideas you have in Scrap Mechanic? I'd love to hear them, and I love trying to make some of these ideas into a reality. But of course, let me know what you guys think, and while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.